the one and only sexy mama, LaDonna Raeh.
LaDonna Raeh Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to see you once again in 2025. I am your host, LaDonna Raeh, and you know it is time for us to get on with it because we have a special guest today, and everybody that comes on this show just really, really lights things up. So you know what we do. We talk to content creators from all over the world. Some are business owners, organizations, individuals, performing artists. Yes, we have quite a few people. But before we get started with the LaDonna Raeh Show that comes on each and every week on YouTube and wherever you're watching it, let's talk about those LA fires. Let me just start by saying that I was very, very calm about the LA fires because they happen quite often. But when they started moving into the Hollywood Hills, I started getting worried. Why? Because that's where my son lives. Yep. As I completely freaked out and continued to call him over and over and over again, and he didn't answer, I certainly had to get on the prayer line. That's right. And I can't explain how a mother would feel knowing that their child or their son is in harm's way and could possibly be compromised. So I continued to put my hands together and read the news. And those of you, I don't know if you follow me, but I'm on WVON and I was doing the news, and the news was about the LA fires. And even though we're talking about climate change and how this can affect African Americans specifically, you're like, wait, what does that have to do with me? I'm in Chicago. That's in LA. Well, guess what? It affects us all because if you heard recently, former mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot's family lost everything, and a lot of people are losing everything, and that's a trickle down effect. But don't even think about the smoke and the smog. And my son has asthma, so I'm like, even if he's not in the building or in the line of fire, what about the atmosphere? Well, my son finally reached out to me via FaceTime audio. He's in Brazil. So I didn't know if his trip had ended already. I thought he was on his way home or already home, but it turns out he and his wife are in Brazil, and I'm so grateful. But along with that, he was still worried about his belongings, his things. And I told him, honey, you can get all that back, but my cars. And I'm like, dude, you can go get another car. You can't go get another life. So he finally calmed down and said, you're right, but he was still worried about it. And come to find out, his building is safe and sound. So that's, I just wanted to bring up the fires in LA before I bring up our next guest, because it turns out that just a few years ago, that some fires were started in LA with Mazel Tovs. Mazel Tov cocktails were found in the hands of a individual that wanted to start the fires intentionally. And you know, all I'm thinking about is all that good liquor going to waste to ruin somebody's life. What are you doing? Okay. But yeah, you can call us at 312-357-5141 if you want to talk to us live. This will be so much fun. And now I want to introduce our guest. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start with something that's been burning through the headlines, literally. Okay. Let's start with those Black businesses that we should really focus on when it comes to wines and spirit brands. Revolutionizing, did I say yeah, that's right. Revolutionizing the distribution with sustainability and innovation. Please join me in welcoming the CEO and founder of DISTRYB, Ashton Bray. Hi, Ashton.
Hello. How's it going? Excited to be here.
Man, we're excited to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always happy to see folks that are doing something that opens up the doors for other folks to do something.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so important. It starts with us, pioneers in every industry, whether it's liquor distribution, creating your own brand, owning a business of some sorts. Like it starts with us, and then we have to enable other people to get involved as well.
Awesome. So here's the thing. I want you to tell people what DISTRYB is so that I know they're running to their keyboards to try to type in DISTRYB. It's spelled just like it is on our screen. It's DISTRYB. And initially, when I saw the name, I already had it in my mind that you were of some type of distribution company. But I want you to be able to tell our audience what type of distribution or what DISTRYB is. Let me let you go ahead and give it to them.
Yeah, for sure. So, in a plain sense, yes, DISTRYB is a distribution company, a black-owned liquor distribution company. But our difference between all the other businesses we, are competing against is that we only work with black-owned wine and spirit brands. We only support them. We prioritize them with a mission of, promoting equity within the industry and making sure that there's shelf space for them as well on, restaurants, bars, liquor stores, etc.
Yeah. This is good news because a lot of different liquor companies are trying to, or should I say, are launching, and they may not know how to get that distribution going so that they can get placement in larger or get better placement versus only being able to sell it at a corking event where they have a booth or a vendor booth. But in this case, you're putting them on the shelves.
Exactly. So
Love
it's
it.
it's really complex. It's a really complex industry. There's a three-tiered system, but say you're making vodka in New York and you want to bring that to the state of Illinois, you wouldn't be able to do that without a distributor. So that's what I do. I help you expand and grow your business. Whether you're here in Illinois or another state, I can help you do that.
I love it. So, Ashton, can you share the story behind your inspiration to start DISTRYB and how your initial encounter with Lazaire? Oh gosh, I knew I was gonna screw this up. Lazaire, is it Lazaire?
Yeah, Lazaire. Yeah,
Thank you.
Lazaire.
Lazaire
Yeah.
Honey Cognac influenced this venture.
Yeah, definitely. So I tell everyone I don't think I would have ever gotten in this business if it wasn't for going to a black barber outside of Seattle almost 4 years ago. So I was outside of Seattle in a little town called Bremerton, I think is what it's called, for my cousin's wedding. And I went unprepared. I didn't have a haircut. I wanted to look good for the wedding. And so I had to Google and find me a black barber because that's who I trust. That's who I'm used to. And I went there. We got along great. And I told him I was there for the wedding. I was his last cut of the day. And he said, let's take a shot. And I was like, all right, what are we drinking? And he said, I got a cognac you're going to love. I was like, man, I don't like Douce. I don't like Hennessy. I'm not with that stuff that, stereotypically has been our popular brands, in
Mhm.
our communities when it comes to cognac. And he said, no, no, this is different. This is black owned. My boy out of Louisiana, he's, the first African American importer and owner of a cognac brand in the entire country. Just try it. Look at the bottle. And so he showed me the bottle. I loved it so much. I took a picture of it and then I tried it and I was entranced. I was in love with what I tasted, the flavor. No one was making a honey blended cognac. It wasn't available in the industry. And now, funny story, Hennessy, as of last year, released their own Hennessy honey cognac. So
Ah,
they copied the brand. But
ah.
yes, that's how I got started in understanding and knowing about black owned liquor brands. Obviously, there's a lot more to the story on how I became more involved with it over the years to finally launch the company last year in November.
I love it. So even just having that experience and knowing that those brands were available and they were out there, DISTRYB's commitment to empowering Black-owned wine and spirit brands and promoting equity within the industry is so important. So, what
Right.
core mission drives DISTRYB, and how do you envision it impacting the wine and spirits industry, particularly for Black-owned brands?
Right. So the core mission is to foster, not foster, but facilitate the community of individuals that are already supporting these brands. There's a lot of different black-owned brands out there in every industry that we're wanting to support, but unfortunately, we don't have the resources necessary to really market them and get them in your hands as quickly as other brands in the, or the competitive market. So what we want to do is we want to be the main distributor that helps you not only market the brand but put it on shelves and as you grow as a business, as you start having more demand for your business, you don't have to rely on trying to ship those sales yourself. We'll help handle that as well, right? So as you grow, we grow, and as a distributor of black-owned brands, it's easier for you to look for me rather than going to 10 other distributors that might have your brand. You'll know as a black-owned distributor selling black-owned brands, I'm going to be carrying that. Simple as that.
Love it. See, so let's talk about sustainability and your data driven approach, possibly like the utilization of electronic or electric delivery vehicles and data driven marketing strategies to enhance
Mhm.
distribution efficiency and obviously the sustainability. But how does DISTRYB integrate sustainability and technology into its own operations? And what advantages does this bring to your partners and clients?
Right, right. That's a great question. So I would like to start by saying I actually work in tech. I've been doing it ever since college. So I went to school for web application development. That's what I do. I build apps, websites, etc. And I work for an amazing tech company called Braze, which is a customer engagement platform. So in the past nearly 6 years that I've been working there, I've learned how to engage with users in a more human-centric way and hit millions of users a day in different messaging channels, right? So whether it's AI, email, text message, push notifications, stuff like that, I am an expert in all those categories. So I'm going to be utilizing that in the platform I'm building this year to engage with the community that I said is already there to make sure that they're always enabled on what brands are coming to their region, any tastings that are happening, what stores are restocking in the brands that they're interested in, and stuff like that. But I also, on hindsight of that, I want to get the data from you and understand what is it you're looking for so I can follow that data and say, hey, we have, 1,000 people looking for this specific black owned brand in this part of Chicago. Let's get that in those stores. Let's get those brands to them. So that's how we're doing the data driven approach. So we'll
How?
utilize, go ahead.
No, no, I'm so sorry. I'm going to cross my fingers so I don't forget. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. I could talk all day about tech. We're talking about distribution. So go right ahead and ask what you're about to ask.
See, I'm a techie too, so I get it. But how often do you get asked for specific black owned brands? Do you ever have someone that inquires with you and says, "Hey, we're looking for a black owned brand so that we can have," I want to use the word diversity, equity, and inclusion. But how often do you get approached to have that type of diversity?
Honestly, I've not been approached for that kind of diversity yet. As my brand grows and people know that I am the distributor to go to for that kind of resource, then I'm hoping to see that a lot more because there are a lot of businesses specifically in the tech industry that are trying to diversify and follow those DEI practices. But as of right now, none have reached out to me. I've been doing all the footwork and going to them. So I give them the pitch. I'm the salesman for your brand. So what I like to say is I'm not just a salesman, I'm a storyteller, and I only pick the brands that have the story and that really resonates with me and the rest of the community that I want to support. And then we sell the story. We don't really sell the brand.
I love it because people buy the story; they don't buy the product. That's just
If you
how
look
it
at
goes. Yeah.
if you look at Uncle Nearest whiskey, right? Everyone knows Uncle Nearest whiskey, created by Fawn Weaver. She's
Hmm.
a well-known storyteller. That's what her job is.
Yeah.
She didn't make Uncle Nearest, right? She built the brand, but she hired someone to make it for her. But she crafted the story that we read today, which has made that company a billion-dollar valuation. So that's what we want to replicate with 20 other brands in the next 10 years.
Now, what are some of the challenges in liquor distribution in the industry overall? Like, if you've had some significant challenges that you faced as a Black entrepreneur in the liquor distribution sector, and how have you navigated them to establish DISTRYB?
Yeah. So there are a lot of obstacles. It's not an industry that's easy to get into. And for the most part, it's been dominated by historically individuals that used to be in the mob in Prohibition days. So during the Prohibition, the mobs were moving all the liquor and they were making a lot of money off of it.
Mhm.
But then when liquor became legal again, they just flipped into legal distribution companies. And so they've been handling all the liquor movement for the past 80 years. There's no problem, right? So just navigating that, I've had no issues with them whatsoever. But like just understanding that they've been dominating the industry for a while, they've already built and established a trust with the liquor stores, restaurants, bars, et cetera, that they've been working with. It's hard to come in as a brand new face, brand new company and say, hey, I'm selling these products. Buy from me, right? Another thing is specifically when it comes to our Black communities, the majority of the liquor stores in our communities are not Black owned, right? It's a very small number. A lot of them are either Indian owned or other ethnicities and religious backgrounds.
Mhm.
And so some of them don't even drink. They sell the products, but they don't really value what the products they're selling are because they don't even know what they taste like. They just follow what they're being sold to by those distributors that I spoke of previously. And so that has been a challenge, right? Being
Yeah.
able to get them to buy in on what we're doing. Even if it's a Black owned brand, they're like, yeah, it's Black owned, but will people actually buy it?
Oh, ouch. Like, how does that
Right.
make you feel?
It makes me want to work harder. Simple as that.
Mm.
It doesn't put me down. I know that I'm going to be facing this because historically that's how it's always been. But
Mhm.
it takes me and people like me to drive the change that I want to see. So it doesn't slow me down whatsoever.
I'm glad that you have the power, or should I say the capacity to be able to shift and take that gut punch and say, you know what, I got to work harder so that I can change the narrative, so that people know that there is good liquor in Black owned liquor companies. Am I reading that
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, everything we do, everything we put our toes in, we dominate. Every
Mhm.
sport, everything that we do,
Shh,
every music
shh.
industry.
Don't tell
I'm just
anybody.
saying.
Shh. Don't
I'm
tell
just saying.
anybody.
I'm just saying the liquor brands that I be trying, I don't want the other stuff anymore. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
look at it because it's
Mm-hmm.
so dang good.
Well, we know what we like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So when it comes to community engagement and, let's say, impact, DISTRYB's role in fostering economic empowerment and representation within the local community has to be a highlight. In what ways does DISTRYB contribute to economic empowerment and representation in your community, and why is it important to you?
Right. So I'll start by saying that when I decided to build this business, I wasn't in my hometown of Decatur, Illinois, where DISTRYB is based right now. I was in New York City. I actually moved back because I wanted to start this business here in my hometown. If you were to look up, I don't remember the website. We can probably drop the link after this video or this live, but there is a website that lists the like top 20 most discriminated towns in the entire country, and Decatur I think is ninth on the list. And that's
Mm-hmm.
not just racism. That's following the data. That's looking at tweets posted online. That's looking at how much people are making salary wise on average in our communities. And so understanding that and understanding this is my hometown, I wanted to make change not just for me and for the whole Black community, but specifically for my hometown as well. Um, so I brought the business here. I'm the only employee right now doing it, but as I continue to grow, I plan to hire employees. And then one of the brand owners that I work with, Vanessa Braxton, she owns Black Mama Vodka. She's actually touring properties here in town as well to start setting up a bottling facility. So we're bringing jobs to town as well as bringing these significant and incredible brands.
Well, that's significant in itself, because with the rollback of DEI going out when federally and affecting those government agencies and funded organizations, people are going to possibly be looking for work. And
Exactly.
there, you know what I mean? There's no more. What we have to say is diversity, equity, and inclusion in those sectors. So when those people are qualified to have jobs to feed their families, then now we're taking back the control of having a organization for them to come and work at.
Exactly. Yep. Starts
Love
with
it.
us, and then we facilitate the jobs that are needed for the future.
Hmm.
100%.
So, future plans. What are the future plans to expand DISTRYB's reach beyond where whatever market you're in currently, and introduce more Black-owned brands to new markets? Like, if you
Yep.
have, well, go ahead. I'll let you answer.
Yeah, so right now, there's two brands listed on our site, distrib.com. One is Black Mama. She makes Black Mama vodka, but she also makes an assortment of other things because she's a master distiller. The first African American woman master distiller in the entire country, by the way. So she makes it all. She's fantastic. So I'll be incorporating all of the things that she makes into my catalog. And then we also have Vodkila, which is owned by another guy named Anthony.
Vodka
Yeah, it's a mix of vodka and
and
tequila, which is
tequila.
yeah,
I love it.
it's delicious. He's got a straight just vodka, tequila, and then also a watermelon flavored one that is very popular right now. And so those are the two brands I'm working with at the moment. However, as it is January 10th, we are working on bringing on 3 or 4 more brands into my catalog in preparation for Black History Month in February. So we'll be working with a beer company. We'll also be working with a ready to drink mixed cocktail business as well. And then we have a whiskey owned by Abbey Solo Whiskey. I'll name drop that we're planning on releasing in February as well. So that's future growth for the brand. But like I said, as I'm doing this by myself right now, I can only take on as much as I can handle. But then as we continue to expand and the popularity grows and the demand grows for the brands that we carry, we'll keep incorporating more and more. And then we won't even just be in Illinois. We'll expand to other states as well.
Hmm. Fantastic, fantastic. And a little birdie told me that you just joined the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce.
Yes,
You're a
I did.
member.
It's all about networking and working with the people that I want to see in the rooms with me, right? We always talk about having a seat at the table. I've been at a lot of tables where I'm the only person that looks like me. However, I want to be at the table where we all look together. We can take our own experiences, combine them, and create that change.
Yeah, meeting of the minds.
Exactly. Mastermind group is what I like to say. I want to be with
Very good.
the mastermind group for
Yeah,
sure.
very good. I went to your website, DISTRYB. It's DISTRYB.com. And it looks amazing. It looks fantastic. It kind of tells the story about why you are in existence and what to expect. So, do you have any advice for aspiring entrepreneurs? Maybe some key advice that you would offer to aspiring entrepreneurs, especially those from underrepresented communities?
Yeah, 100%. So like I said in the beginning, this business kind of started becoming a thought process in my head almost 4 years ago. But I wouldn't have done it without networking and reaching out to all the right people to really understand what I can do to create that change. A lot of people get something in their head and they want to create that change and make an impact, but they end up wanting to do it by themselves. And specifically for our community, it's almost impossible to do these things by ourselves. We have to come together. We got to do these things together. I've been to a lot of tastings where it's a bunch of black owned brands in one room. Technically, they're competitors, but when you walk into that room, they don't look like competitors. They're all supporting each other, all trying to grow, all trying to share their brands and tell their stories. And so lean on your network before you build your business. Don't just hop right into it. You can get started, but definitely lean on the people that have already been doing it for some time. Get their perspectives, get their experience, and then drive that change. Bring in that fresh perspective, that fresh mindset, and get it done. Simple as that.
I think that's really good advice because some people may feel like, oh, it's too big for me. I can't possibly see myself doing something this enormous because they may not have experienced being part of something so great. But it's all in doing the research and, like you said, leaning on someone. What would you say about the narrative in our community that has to go away, where we feel that we cannot lean on each other for information? What would you say about that?
I'd say that's a sad mindset to have. You got to trust each other first. Y'all are too busy getting influenced by everything you see on the internet not to trust the people right next to you. That's how I look at it. All these brands that you're drinking, all these tequila brands, Hennessy, Douce, those will all have been piped down your throat through music videos, rap videos, and commercials that you consume on a daily basis. The black dollar and the black eyes That's what all these businesses target. They move their dollars to us because we spend them the fastest. But if we were to spend those dollars in our own communities first, we would see a lot more change.
Well said. Well said. Well, if we didn't leave anything out, why don't you tell everyone how to follow you, where to find you, so that they can stay abreast to what's going on with the DISTRYB and Ashton Bray, of course.
Yeah. So you can type in DISTRYB.com. Obviously, that's our website. We're DISTRYB.us on Instagram and TikTok, I believe. And then we're on pretty much every single social media platform you can think of, even Threads. We're engaging in Threads, which is a newer one. We are not on Twitter, though. We will not be on Twitter. Just letting y'all know that right now. We don't run with Elon. I'm sorry. But yeah, engage with us there. Ask questions. See how you can connect. If you're a brand owner, hit me up. Let's have a conversation. And if you're a liquor store owner, restaurant, bar, etc. in Illinois, and you want to connect and sell these brands in your stores, let's have that conversation.
Nice. Well, you know what, Ashton, you might want to consider Fanbase. Get on to
Fanbase.
Fanbase. Yeah,
Okay.
it's an audio drop-in app that also does more than that. It has a video. It's kind of like the TikTok takeover, and it's
Okay.
founded by a brother by the name of Isaac Hayes the third. Yes, Isaac Hayes'
Hey,
son.
I love that. I
Check it
love that.
out.
Let's go. I'm gonna definitely check that out. I appreciate that.
No problem. Well, thank you so much for being on the LaDonna Rae Show. And we'll see you next go round. I know you got some new membership stuff to do, but I'm so happy to have you on the LaDonna Rae Show. And check us out tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, or Saturday rather, on the Wake Up Show Chicago on WVON and iHeartRadio with the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host and producer of that show. One of the hosts, I should say. But hey, check it out. Tap in, call in, and share the information. All right. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We are also on, well, I don't want to say Twitter's name because I'm not on Twitter, to be honest with you, but I'm actually on YouTube. But I'm going to get you out of here, Ashton. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Bye
All
bye.
right. Hang tight. Wow. It's always amazing when we have young people on our show that are doing something super, super big. Now, that's a wrap for today's episode of the LaDonna Rae Show. And a huge, huge, huge thank you to Ashton Bray for sharing his inspiring journey and giving us an inside look into the innovative work happening at DISTRYB. Remember, the conversation doesn't stop here. Be sure to check out DISTRYB at www.distryb.com and follow Ashton Bray's journey as he continues to empower and innovate within the wine and spirits industry. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can never miss a moment of the LaDonna Rae Show. And of course, share this episode with somebody who needs to hear an inspiring story. Follow us on social media and stay connected for more amazing guests, stories, and insights. Until next time, maybe you'll check me out on WVON. That's right. Thanks for tuning in. And remember to always shine bright and live authentically. See you on the next show. Bye-bye for now.
The one and only sexy mama, LaDonna Rae.